Good morning, welcome to Wild Homestead. Hope you got a cup of wolf milk in your hand. I've got some exciting news. I'm gonna be getting a sawmill. I reached out to 3 different kind of big sawmill brands. The one that I think I'm gonna work with, that I will be working with, is a homegrown local sawmill brand. So I'm super excited. This is gonna open up an enormous range of possibilities in terms of what we can do going forward, the kind of stuff we can build, and the way we build it. Just working out the details on getting it out to me, because it's a bit hard to ship to where I am. Living the homestead dream, got a sawmill, milling your own lumber. There's only one thing you could possibly say to this, guys. 4 words, 9 syllables. Ooga booga.
I am James ALOFS. I left the big city to build an off-grid homestead on 40 acres of Canadian wilderness. This area of Ontario has giant ridgelines, deep valleys, and pure rivers. Black bears, gray wolves, mountain lions, moose, and many forest spirits share the land. I started in November 2023. Starting with a modest 12 by 16 foot guest cabin, my goal is to build such a glorious homestead that I attract a magnificent wife, have 10 babies, and raise an Irish wolfhound. Welcome to Wild Homestead.
Well, ladies and gents, look who showed up again. Twice in 1 week is not good. So I'm gonna take this guy back down to the owner. It's about 6 kilometers away. So yeah, I literally opened the back door. He jumped right in and sat down. Crazy man, dude. I'd adopt you, but your owners would be pissed. So the first thing I'm going to do this week is I'm going to put in the final rafter that is going to be the front of my sort of cantilevered roof here. Okay, here we go. So this is the other kind of hurricane tie. You see, it just sits right like that, because the other hurricane ties, right, they hug around the bottom of the rafter. They're like a diamond shape, but it would look weird because I'm not able to secure it out here. Yeah, I see, that's the usual hurricane tie. But this should be nice. Nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's not as sturdy as these diamond shaped ones, but when you're just sitting on the outside. I might put a metal, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So the distance between this rafter and that rafter is uniform from the base to the top. So this last rafter here, I'm gonna get the halfway point between those two. Morning, folks. Just coming back from town. I did a restock on food, and it's about 11 a.m. I got delayed about an hour. I did a Zoom interview with a production company out of London, England. They're putting together a off-grid homesteading show, apparently for Netflix. So that's kind of interesting. To be honest, I know what's involved with doing those kind of shows, and it's a lot. It's not necessarily a lot of work, but it you have to kind of conform to the story arcs that they need, right? Like they'll need you to build a certain thing, or, you know, just kind of control what your direction is. It's not necessarily fake at all, but I don't know, man. Like the reason I came out here was, you know, for freedom and just to do what I wanted. And I don't know. It's always better to have those conversations, but, you know, have options. But to be honest, I love what I'm doing so far. And just being able to wake up and do whatever I want, like the idea of having a film crew here, that would totally destroy the ambiance. You know, I wouldn't see the grouse. I wouldn't see the critters. It would change things too much. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. Okay, so I just tapped in the bottom hurricane ties on these two guys. As you can see, I've got the partial hurricane tie on this outer one. And then on the outer edge there, you see here, to add more stability, I've got one of these plates. So I think I might as well put it on there. New hammer. Replaced my old one. This one's a legit 21-ounce head. It's a framing hammer. And then I got some of these 8D roofing nails after suggestions from viewers. These things are great spacers for spacing the panels. I'm also going to use these to help measure for the slanted final rafter. I can't figure it out for the life of me. I can't figure out how to measure 8 degrees on here. I think I might cut the front first, see how that fits, and then come and cut the back. It's not making any sense. Or I might just kind of like eyeball it. Okay, once I got this bad boy up there, it's actually fitting pretty nice. It's a little bit gnarly. I had to cut it a few times, but what I discovered is that I could actually find a way to measure, instead of 8 degrees, 90 degrees minus 8 at the top here is 82. So I managed to get it into an angle where it was representative of what it was at the 8 degree, and it actually fits very nice. It's definitely mangled. And I didn't really have the proper tool, to cut it. I don't think I ended up using my Sawzall, but I think that's what I'll do on the other side. So I just realized I forgot the top can't just be aligned with the top of the ridge board. It has to be like the others. Maybe I should have used a 2x8 for this. That would have probably been easier to line it up. Okay, there she is, properly aligned, looking good, tacked in 3 times on the opposite side. On the top, it's with screws. I'm gonna sink some nails up there too. And then I got this all nailed in here. It's a little mangled down here. This is gonna be covered up, but it is aligned properly. And this is the cantilever, guys. So the plywood will come out to here on an angle, then the membrane, and then the steel. But you see, there's a full extra 2 feet there. So I think that this chalet style is just gonna look cool. That literally took me all afternoon to finagle that thing up, going straight out. So was it worth the extra 4 hours? I think so. I think it's gonna be cool. And I think I figured out how to cut the bottom properly, so when I'm doing the other side, it should be smoother and it shouldn't be so mangled. It was pretty tricky doing it by myself though. Oh my God, I nearly forgot to put the 2x4 supports. Lord almighty. You know the notches that we cut earlier on in that inner 2x8 up there. Got to put in the 2x4s. Oh my God, what am I doing? Ooga booga, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a glorious morning. It's just sprinkling rain. So it's the end of an era. I'm going into town to buy a pickup truck. I have a four-wheel drive sedan. I've been surviving in it so far. It's got me through. It's a 2019 year model, and it's time to get a pickup truck, baby. You know, I'm gonna need 2 or 3 more sheets of this plywood to finish the roof. And I've generated, it costs, Home Depot charges $150 to deliver material to where I am because it's so far, right? So I'm even surprised they do deliver out here. Yeah, it's just doing this lifestyle. You gotta have a pickup truck, man. Even for like, there's so many things. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, back from town. I ended up test driving 2 trucks, a mid-size and a full-size, and the dealer's going to give me basically 2 kind of options, an A option, B option in terms of prices and whatnot. So I'm going to sleep on it and get back to them on Monday. I'll let you guys know in the weekly vlog next week which one I end up picking up. But, you know, I was surprised about how small mid-size trucks are. Like, you can't even fit a full-size sheet of plywood in them. So, and for example, like my ATV, if I ever need to take it anywhere, I can fit it in the back of a full-size pickup, but not in the back of the mid-size pickup. So we'll see. I just heard some thunder. That's the first thunder I've heard all year, so this is pretty exciting. I'm gonna get back to it. By the way, my appointment at the car dealership with the sales lady was at 9 a.m. So I went to the gym at about 7:30. It was the first time I'd been in a gym pumping iron since I came up here on November 4th. I used to religiously go to the gym 3 times a week and pump iron. It's one of my favorite things to do. And honestly, I think I had about 3 mini strokes for multiple reasons. First of all, when you're pumping iron, all of your hormones and your blood just start raging, right? I was also blasting like Viking death metal music in my headphones. I never listen to music out here anymore. There's just so much going on. You know, you don't listen to music, so that like pumps up your dopamine and gets you jacked up. And then of course, all these girls in their gym outfits and their yoga pants. I was just like, ah, ah. Well, hot damn Vietnam, look at that. That's a lot nicer than the other one. A lot nicer than the one over here. You see, this one ended up getting kind of mangled down here. But also nicer on the top there. But looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, after those thunderstorms, man, it got chilly. So it's still about, I think, +6 or 7 right now, but it's gonna get down to -8 tonight. So tomorrow at sunrise, it's gonna be -8, if you can believe it. Man, it's wild temperature fluctuations out here. But I'm missing the plate for the end, that final rafter, regular rafter over there. You see this plate here that I put up? I gotta put that other plate up before I start putting the plywood and stuff on it, because it's only got the hurricane tie on the other side, and I'm really worried about it not being structurally sound enough. So I'm gonna need to get that plate. And the other thing I noticed, the outhouse hole over there, you can see there was a German subscriber who left a comment saying that log is a thunder log, or the thunder stick, however you say that in German. So a few days ago, I noticed just a few flies down there, maybe 2 or 3, because there's no insects out, right, at this point of the spring. And this morning, there were like 50 or 60 flies down there. So tonight, because it's going to get down to -8, those flies are either going to get killed off or go dormant probably for a few days, hopefully get killed off. I'm going to fill up that hole. It's not that big, with sand. I'm going to dig a new outhouse hole beside it. And then I'm going to build a thunder box over it. I saw Sean James from My Self-Reliance, when he was building his first cabin back in 2017. I remember he dug his hole, and then he just used, some 2x4s and stuff to make a little platform. He had the toilet seat lid, and he just used plywood around the sides and on the top. And that just covers it and kind of air seals it, so that all the bugs and stuff don't get down there. So I'm going to go into town. I've got enough other material to build it, but I need to get a toilet seat for it, as well as that brace on the outside. Now, the reason I wanted to get this done before doing the waterproofing on here is that my neighbor may need this scaffolding back tomorrow. So putting up this angled rafter over there is very difficult. You saw me struggling with it. So I wanted to have that here. The rest of the stuff I don't need the scaffolding for. Thor's red oak. Thor's red oak. Hang in there, buddy. It's gonna be a rough night. -8.
It's definitely -8 out here. Let's get some fire. Whoa.
Just got off the phone with my sister. It was great talking to her. She was telling me about sociologists at Harvard have just completed this study. The #1 way to fix marital problems is actually just by consuming 1 scoop of berries and cherries every day. If you have at least 1 scoop a day, your partner will be 20% more attractive physically and 30% less annoying. Berries and cherries. If only I had known about berries and cherries before I met all 4 of my ex-wives, I wouldn't be probably in the situation I am in now, which is 4 times divorced, living in a tent by myself in the middle of the wilderness. So you never know how important berries and cherries may be to your life, guys. Berries and cherries. Eat a cherry, save your Mary. Okay, guys, good news about the old thunder hole over there is that this morning, because it was so cold last night, all the flies are gone. They're dead or whatever. So over the next 3 nights, it's all going to be down like -4, -5 at night. So that should keep the flies at bay. Check it out. This side of the roof is done. That cantilevered roof looks so freaking cool. So to take advantage of the scaffolding while I still have it, I'm going to finish these rafters next and these support beams for the outer cantilevered rafter. Whoa, I'm realizing on this side, if I'm laying the ladder on a 45-degree angle up the roof, this slope here, I might not even be able to safely secure the ladder down here. What I might have to do on this side is actually use the loft space inside and maybe cut the plywood in half. So instead of 4 by 8 feet, it's 2 by 8 feet. And then I can somehow, from the inside, get the board out on top and then secure it. Okay, so I tapped it in and then I realized I haven't done the support blocking. Like on the other side, I'm gonna have either 2x4 or plywood blocking underneath every single rafter on this side, right? Which will help support, it'll put the weight of each rafter directly into the eaves beam. The other idea is if I get a 4x4 post and I'm screwing in chunks of 4x4 post, that would be a lot wider than these 2x4s. That could actually be a lot better. So the other thing is I just realized I only have enough hurricane ties to do about 1/3 of these rafters. You know, it's a bummer every time having to run into town, but some of these things, again, you only realize you need them when you're actually doing it in process, right? With a 4x4 post, it's much less likely to split, but I will sleep better at night knowing I think I've got a 4x4 chunks rather than 2x4 chunks underneath here. Look at that. I just left this 2x4 in place, but going forward, going to be using these 4x4 blocks. I think much sturdier and there won't be any problems. This was already cracked. I bought it like this. It had this crack in it, but hopefully it will be less likely to crack than the 2x4s. Let's go. Nice. Yeah, this is much nicer, much sturdier. than using plywood or 2x4s like this guy, using the 4x4. Even this top plate, I think I could have done a 4x4 beam, but traditionally from what I've read, top plates are always double 2x4s or double 2x6s. I'm not sure if there's something about the difference in the grain. I'm gonna put one in along every single, above the bottom of every single rafter along here. Viking salt. I was just listening to a Viking history podcast, Dan Carlin, Hardcore History. He was talking about, during the Viking Age, when they first kind of started settling, I think it was primarily Norwegian Vikings, started to settle Iceland. One of the first settlers being Floki, who is portrayed in the Vikings TV show by one of the Skarsgård brothers. Dan Carlin was talking about how 1 year in recorded history, I think there were 17 ships. Only 3 made it. 17 ships set out. Only 3 made it to Reykjavik. The others disappeared into the abyss. Were probably sunk, blown off course, never heard from again. Can you imagine that? Setting out with your family, and then you have a success rate of 3 in 17. And certain years, most years were better than that, but man, we have our modern challenges, right? Modern challenges abound, but back then, hooey, whole different set of marbles. You have got to be kidding me. I was taking the drone up to do a shot of the river, and it was almost like it switched into some different mode because of the low light conditions, and I just couldn't control the drone. It went right into the tree. Oh. Oh. That's the first time crashing it into a tree. It's actually at head height. But now I'm worried it's smashed to smithereens. Oh my God. I think we got some broken rotors. Just one broken rotor. Wow. Ugh.
am 16, going on 17. Rafters are a pain in my bottom. Ooga booga. So guys, I just realigned all of these dudes, 16 inches on center. I'm aligning at the top first. And as I put some more sheets down, I'm going to slowly kind of zero in on the alignment of the tails of the rafters to make things kind of straight. Okay, I've been fooling around a bit with this sheet. Sheet is 8 feet long. It's kind of square. So I'm just kind of going to be shoving it around, trying to inch it into place so I can have a reference to square up all the rest of the rafters. Man, I want to go fishing in that river so bad. A big part of this journey for me is going to be learning, I've been fishing since I was a little kid, but learning how to fish for the species up here, which are different than the species where I grew up in Southern Ontario, and learning how to hunt, learning how to gather, full on hunter-gatherer, Homo sapiens, original human, kind of pathway. So I just want to get the door on, the roof up, the floor in, and the place chinked, That's my number one priority. And then as I construct all my other stuff, I can have a set working day, from morning to evening, right, 8 to 4, something like that, 9 to 5. And then in the hours around there, I can be out going after wild game, fishing, and gathering and doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited about that. Just not quite the time. Rushing. Really got to get that end, the cantilevered end there finished, because almost certainly my neighbor is going to come and get this scaffolding first thing tomorrow morning. And tomorrow is edit day, so there's no time tomorrow morning. Let's see if we can get it done. The sun is setting. Let's go. Just in the nick of time. Look at that cantilevered roof, ladies and gentlemen. That was a pain in my derriere, but my goodness, does it look beautiful. Doing that by myself, holding those rafters up there is really tricky, but it looks really, really cool. I'm surprised more people don't do this on cabin. Managed to figure out how to square up all the rafters, and it took a little bit, but I think the key was using that 2-foot wide, 8-foot long half sheet to kind of square up all the rafters in the middle and then square all the other ones from there. Also the blocking, that 4x4 post blocking up underneath the top plate on the other side makes it really sturdy. Sinking those 10-inch long Timberlock screws down through the double 2x4 top plate, through the 4x4 post chunk into the eaves beam really, I think, ties everything nicely together over there. Got to get those last few panels up, and then it's actually pretty easy, from what I can tell, to put the waterproof membrane up. It just rolls right out and you just staple it in. Then I'm going to start putting up the metal next week. So it's matte black. I had to pay 15% extra for the matte over the regular glossy finish, but I think it's going to look super sweet. So tune in next week. I can't believe I haven't seen a bear yet, but thankfully my food security's been pretty good, I guess. They could pop out at any moment, I'm sure. Got to put the trail cameras up too. See you next week on Wild Homestead.